So I've realised lately that some of my happiest moments actually happen on days that aren't always perfect. They're not always on those really sunny days. Sometimes they are when I'm getting soaked with rain. Sometimes they happen on a really random Friday morning when I'm covered in mud. Hey, so thank you for finding my channel. I really appreciate you being here. So if you're new here, my name is Shelley, and this is just my little place to connect and slow down and reflect on life. So come and join me each week as we explore ways of authentic living. So here's a quote I found this week from a novelist called Kurt Vonnegut. And he says, "Enjoy the little things in life, because when it comes to looking back, you'll realize that those were really the big things." So this week's video is going to be a little bit different. I want to take you guys into my world a little more. I've captured some footage when I was volunteering out at my local animal shelter last week, and I just wanted to bring you along. So one of the things that really brings a lot of joy to my week is going out and spending some time with the animals in the foster kennels. As you'll see from the footage, it's definitely not glamorous. Oftentimes, we're covered in mud, we are cleaning out kennels that aren't very nice, we're walking in the rain. But you know, there's a real sense of purpose that comes from being out there. I absolutely love it despite any of that. Just giving those dogs some love is just something that really speaks to me. It's definitely not glamorous. Some weeks I come home covered in mud and distinctively smelling like wet dog. But you know, despite all that, these encounters out there just give me something that I really didn't realize I was looking for. We're just at the kennels and I've taken Gunther out. So this is Gunther. If you can see him or not, there he is. He's a bit of a mix of everything. Very sweet dog. A little bit of a puller on the walk, but he's quite enthusiastic. He's just a little pup, so we're going to take him out for a wander.
Close to violet on a Sunday, nearly made it into bloom.
So this is probably Gunther's, I think this is the third time I've seen Gunther. So he's been here, this will be his third week, which is pretty unusual for these dogs. They normally only come in for a couple of weeks and then they get fostered out to somebody. And then once they've been fostered, the adoption process can start. So they find a forever home somewhere. And quite often the foster carers actually end up taking the dogs anyway. But yeah, he's a very sweet boy, this one. I think he was picked up from the pound. We don't know a whole lot about them. You know, some of these dogs are strays, some of them are dogs that get picked up that haven't had a very nice start to life. So all sorts of different things that happen with them. But yeah, he's sweet to take out for a wander.
But I know, oh, the ordinary Monday turning back to blue. Long for what's to come, keep forgetting how to make it known before it's already gone.
It's a little bit wet today in the southwest, as you can tell. It's been so beautiful all week, but we're going to get some storms and some showers in. So we have just gotten totally soaked on our walk, but it's been really nice to be out. Here's Poppy. Where is he? There he is, sniffing around, doing his thing. So I'm going to take him back for him in a little minute. And so I just want to tell you a bit about the story of how this happened. I used to volunteer down at the Dolphin Centre and I used to really love it there. I got really involved and it was great. I probably got a little bit too involved, if I'm really honest. And when I had some time off last year, I did some travelling last year and had a little bit of time out from it. And a lot changed there, and so it sort of meant that it got a little bit political and just lots of things were happening, and I found it was just not really the place for me, but I still wanted to do some volunteering. And so actually one of the girls I know from the Dolphin Centre had told me that she comes down to this place and gets to spend some time with dogs. So as much as I spend most of my time with dogs anyway, so I'm generally house sitting for them, yeah, this is just a nice little opportunity to give back to the community, get down here and do some bits and pieces. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it. It's really simple. We just come down and clean out the pens, which is normally nothing. It depends on the dog, but if they're unwell or whatever. But yeah, the dogs are normally pretty chill. We normally clean up their little messes. We put them in the run for a minute, give them a bit of a run around, and then we take them out for a walk and then give them some breakfast or some dinner. So they get visited twice a day, which is really awesome. Just gives them a little bit of enrichment, you know. They're in the kennels on their own. So, but you know, this also came about. I used to watch a YouTuber. He's an American guy, and his name's Rocky Kanaka. And I'm not sure exactly where he's based in the US, but he has an amazing channel which is called Sits with Dogs. I think it's what it's called. Basically, he goes into shelters and he sits with the most. Come, Gunther. He sits with the most shut down dogs, and he basically rehabilitates them. So he just goes and sits with them. He's probably in there for maybe an hour quite often, but he sits with those dogs that are really shut down, the ones that are really going to struggle to be adopted, right? You know, there's always those ones in the shelters that don't come to the front of the cage, that they just don't want to interact with people because they've just had such bad experiences. And so he goes in there and he really slowly gets to know the dog. He sits with them really calmly. He talks to them. He tells them they're good boys, good girls, and essentially the dogs love him. It can take an hour, you know, but he comes in there with treats. He sits with them. He talks really calmly to them. And those dogs just get such a beautiful thing out of it. It's really cool. So that's kind of what started this off too, was watching a bit of YouTube and seeing this guy who gets down and, yeah, loves spending some time with some animals.
Things I like to follow through, but I hold on. A visionary sunlight show.
So we currently have 2 dogs out here at the shelter. We have Gunther, who I'm walking at the moment, and then we also have Trixie. So Trixie's new. I think she came into the shelter maybe sometime this week. It's the first time I've ever seen her. She is some kind of staffy, very, very sweet, very, very timid. Can't make eye contact with her when you first see her, kind of thing. She's very, very scared. But I think she's getting better from reports that I've read in the logbooks. She's getting a lot better. So it just these opportunities for these dogs just to get a bit of love, and for them to remember that humans can be kind, because, you know, sometimes they haven't had a great start to life, just depending on what's happened to them. So yeah, it's just really nice to give them a little bit of love, give them a little bit of, tell them that they're good boys and good girls, and remind them that the world isn't so bad.
It's an empty room, long for what's to come. Keep forgetting how to make it known before it's already gone.
So at the moment we're just out on our little walk, trying to get back to the shelter before it rains. I can already feel that rain starting. We got soaked as soon as we left, but you know, a wet walk is better than no walk, so I figured it was better just to get them out and give them a little run around. Yeah, the rest of the day we'll see what happens. This weather is going to mean a bit of sitting inside, maybe doing some editing. Yeah, we'll catch up on a few bits and pieces. So the rain has started. It's just opened, the heavens have just opened up. I've just found this little group of trees to kind of cluster around, just waiting for this rain to pass, and then we shall continue on our walk. Somehow I think this rain is in for the day. So we're just going to have to make a run for it back to the shelter and get Gunther back and getting warmed up and give him a bit of a love.
Looking back as soon as how you know, did the moment even make it back?
I used to think that volunteering was all about giving back. And don't get me wrong, of course it is. But the one thing I've realised is actually it gives me so much more as well. There's so much to it for me. I love giving time to these dogs. I love seeing them for that hour, seeing them play, see them run around, see them happy, to have that company for that little bit of time. But more than that, it's given me a real sense of purpose. Going out to the kennels, it gives me a chance to be part of something bigger, part of something that I really care about. And it helps me to interact with different people as well. The volunteers out there are amazing. They're really beautiful people who are just out there for this common cause. And that has just provided such a lovely anchor for my life. Just to be able to get out there, to be able to do something a little bit different, and to be able to feel like I'm giving back. And you know, it's been a really interesting experience. These dogs are only with us for such a short amount of time. Sometimes we might have them for a month, but that's quite unusual. These dogs generally are only with us for a few weeks. And the thing I've really noticed is how attached I get to them. They are the most beautiful creatures, and they've just had such a bad start in life. But it's amazing to go out there and just give them that little bit of love. But then also to see them go off to their foster home and to be happy there. And it just gives me so much joy to go out there and to watch them. Just to watch them so happy for that little bit of time that they're getting some human interaction. And it's hard when they leave. I can't deny that. It's really difficult. There's one especially who's been there maybe 3 weeks, and I got really attached to him. Really sweet dog. And he's now in foster care, and I am so happy about that. It is the best thing ever that he's now getting some great care. But, you know, it feels sad, right? I know that I'm not going to see him again. But I also know that I've helped him become a little bit steadier on his feet. So hopefully his foster family will love him for a long time. But you know the thing that volunteering at the kennels has taught me the most? It's taught me about being present. I don't take my phone in with me. I leave it in the car and I'm just there for an hour and I'm present with those dogs. I give them my time. I give them my presence. And I think actually that's one of the things I love the most as well. There's no distractions. We're not even really with other people that much. We see the other volunteers at the start. We talk about what we're going to do. We help each other and we plan how we're going to do the day's activities or the morning's activities. But it's very much one-on-one time with those dogs. And it's beautiful because you get to have this amazing eye contact with them once they trust you. And it's just about really slowing down and being able to just stay in the moment and be present with them.